What's up YouTube? My name is CJ and you're watching Cruel Justice. Now today, I'm going to talk about something that you should know before you pick up any pencil, paint, color, whatever. Alright, let's go to work. So yeah, something we got to talk about. Something I've been meaning to tell you, because I know you want to draw, but we got to address some things first. It's something everybody needs to know before you want to learn how to draw, before you want to learn how to do anything. But we talking about art, so that's what we're gonna get to. And that thing is your mindset. Is how you're mentally prepared to attack anything in life. But we talking about drawing today. So it's how you attack the piece, the canvas, the page, the wall, whatever. And this is so important. A lot of people miss it, but it's so important because you can save yourself a lot of stress if you know the right mindset to have before you get into drawing, before you learn how to draw. Save yourself a lot of frustration. I'm here to help. So that's cool. So you good. Be cool. Be cool. But I know it's a lot of things you're gonna worry about starting anything new. Is how do I learn to draw like this person? How do I get recognition? What if people don't like what I do? What if people don't like my art, my style? What if I'm not as good as the person that I'm using as a role model or as a muse for the work that I want to do? What if I don't find all the right tools and methods for the things that I want to do? And simply, how can I continue to get better? But I'm here to help all of that. All of those questions, starting out, will stress you out, will frustrate you. So I'm gonna tell you the right and wrong things to think about and to do in order to have the proper mindset. The number one thing to do is hydrate. Hydrate. An unhydrated mind, a dehydrated mind, is like a unoiled machine, unoiled car. It's not gonna work properly. Get some nutrition, get some water in your system, and you're gonna start your day off a whole lot better. Alright, now, okay, for the realist, the next thing you don't want to do is diving in. Now, this may sound kind of anti, but when I say diving in, I'm not talking about going to work right away. I'm saying diving in without having some type of foundation, some type of knowledge base before you start drawing. But since you're here, you're doing the right thing. So I applaud you. Do not let me be the only source that you use to get your art self-education on, whatever. Yeah, find all the different type of artists that you can. Find out their style. If you want to do something that's more abstract, something that's hyper-realism, or something in between, or if you want to go completely expressional to where it's all abstract, cubism, different geometric shapes, watercolor, whatever the style is, get your inspiration from somewhere. Get a feel for how you want to start by looking at other people's work. Look at the tools that they use and how they use them to say, oh, okay, I like that, that's where I want to start. For me personally, I started early. Like, I started before I could remember, so it wasn't really a chance for me to do this type of thing. Now, I had teachers in gifted art and talented programs in middle school, high school growing up. I took tests on these type of things, so I've had a little more experience. But if you're someone that's new to it, that's my advice. For me, since I played baseball, my swing, I would mimic it off of a certain baseball player. I would watch how they field it, how they catch, how they throw, how they move as the pitcher is winding up their follow through, all these things, because I wanted to model myself off of someone that was already successful in this field. And the same thing goes for art. So before you dive in, just look up a few things. That's all. The number two thing, the second one, do say. The second thing is applying too much pressure on yourself. If you're just starting out, of course, you're amateur, you don't have the right muscle memory, the right skills, the right knowledge to accurately execute the things that you have in your head. Now, it's gonna take time. Keep on sketching things out, keep on asking advice, keep on seeking knowledge, but don't get down on yourself for not knowing right away how to do the things you want to do. Don't get down on yourself for not having the skills yet. Don't get down on yourself for not having all the right tools that you want. You will only get yourself in a rut. So one thing I would say is everything is your canvas, everything is your tool. If all you have is your sidewalk and some chalk, that you had from when you were a kid in preschool, then use it. There's a lot of amazing artists that do work with chalk. There's a lot of amazing graffiti artists that do art on walls. There's a lot of people that sketch only with paper and pen. So do not limit yourself and add pressure to yourself because you can't do one specific thing that you've been asked to do. If all you can do is hold up a light and cut pieces out of a piece of paper and hold it up to the light to create shadows and layer it to where, you know, it creates an image. I'm not trying to give you too many ideas. I might use that one. So, you know, don't use that one, but get creative. You're entering a creative field, so there's so many different things you can do to get your artistic expression out there. If you don't have the money to buy a sketchbook, just go buy some regular loose leaf, because I know sketchbooks can get pretty expensive depending on where you buy them from. Don't worry about getting the most expensive pencils. Go get some mechanical pencils. That's how everybody started off. And just draw with what you have, because what you have is better than the things that you don't have, or you won't have for a long time. So use what's available to you, whether it's a piece of wood outside, whether it's drawing with a stick in the dirt. Like it can still produce some nice things. Trust yourself, trust your environment, trust the skills that you have right now to create something. I believe in you. Yeah, that's what you need to hear. But really I do. Alright, cool. Number two, part two. You can also add pressure to yourself by comparing yourself to others. The first thing can be worrying about your skills, worrying about the tools that you have. The other thing can be comparing yourself to others. Even if you start the same day as someone, maybe they have one thing that you don't have, but you also have something that they don't. And instead of worrying about what that thing is and trying to be identical to someone else, do what makes you unique. Do what makes you special. And when you find it, people are gonna love you for it. So just keep working. All right, number 3, avoid talking too much. Might sound weird, but avoid telling a lot of people that you draw now, you want to draw. Even if you want to do it for a profitable reason. Get some skills down first. At least, like, don't rush into it. Try to figure out what you want to do. Also, when people know that you're trying to do something and they see you're not exactly what they expect you to be, they're gonna talk about you. I know it's a bad thing. I know we all do it to some degree, but it's like when you tell your goals to people or your aspirations to people, they immediately project their fears and their judgments on you. So when you're first starting out, limit who you tell so you don't get too discouraged. Tell the people that you know are going to support you. Normally it's the people that are also doing something themselves, not someone that's going along with whatever someone told them to do or whatever was already set out in place for them. You're doing something new. You're doing something that you told yourself to do, that you felt within yourself that had to be done. So when you tell someone that isn't going along a similar path for themselves, they might put you down. Then again, don't listen to them. Alright, now let's talk about the right things, the correct things, the proper things, the good things, not the bad things, but the right things to do for when you want to start drawing. Alright, number 1, do your research. Like I said before, don't just dive in without looking up a few things. Do your research. Might sound like I said it before, but it's because I did. Look at all the different artists, current artists, past artists, like in the 80s, 60s, or look at the masters and see what they did and see how all of that is all connected and how it carries over to now. You can learn something from everything. You can learn something from everything. Even if you don't like it, you can look at the art and try to mimic whatever technique they use to work in your favor. Look at the new artists now, and see how they use their art to create maybe some kind of message. And maybe you want to do the same thing, whether it's awareness for Me Too, Black Lives Matter, LGBT, awareness for autism, awareness for animal cruelty, whatever the case is. If that's what you want to do, see how you can use your art for better marketing strategies. See the different people you can get in touch with to actually get your art well known and out there. See what medium you actually want to work with, whether it's colored pencils, oil paints, acrylic pastels, watercolor, spray paint, sculpture, whatever the case may be. Me personally, I like colored pencils and charcoal, and I do paint when I customize shoes, but that's about it. You may be different, I don't know. The next thing to do is to observe and pay attention, not to everyone else, but to the things that you are doing. Every time you put your hand on the paper, be mindful of how things feel. That will be your best teacher, is yourself sometimes. Noticing how different canvases feel compared to others. Noticing how different tools in your hand work compared to one another on a different canvas. Notice how the light changes different colors. Being observant is the best way to experiment with your talents. You might get into different textures of materials and use those to create the textures within your drawings. Create different moves within your drawings. Overlaying your canvas on top of a texture and using that. Overlaying the texture on top of the canvas and using that. I've seen that plenty of times. Mostly with spray paint, but it happens. Also, you can notice your weaknesses. Maybe as you're drawing, it's hard for you to go this way, but it's easy for you to go this way depending on where your eye is on the page. You might have to turn the page. You might just have to get stronger with that hand in that position. And I got videos for that coming up. Also, observe when you feel most comfortable to draw, whether it's at home by yourself, whether it's in a park with other people, whether it's in your living room, on vacation, in a hotel. I used to have to go to the laundromat all the time. I would bring my sketchbook to the laundromat, and while I was there, I observed myself, and I realized that I can't exactly draw from my head all the time. I can look at things and recreate it with no problem. I can piece things together and create something new with no problem, but just straight off of my head, I have trouble with. I can visualize ideas, but like full picture, I just, it's not my best thing. But what I can do is I can draw just how I feel on the page, just freestyle how I draw on a page, and then create something. Throughout the process of me just trusting myself and relaxing and just going to it, I realized, I observed within myself that I can create something from something else just by freestyling on the page. So you have to figure out what it is for you. The third thing is relax. Relax, 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 relax. Get some more water. And relax. It's a lot of things that you shouldn't worry about when you first start out. Just worry about producing something, whatever it is, just at all. Don't overthink it. Just find something to create with and something to create on. Because as much as I appreciate everyone watching the video, watching this video alone will not get you the results that you want. It's only to get you started. So get out your own head and put your ideas onto something so you can get out of your own way. Alright? But yeah, that's all that I have for this video. I will have more videos on the way to help you get started along your art journey, and more to come after that. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what videos you want to see in the future, what you're struggling with, what you need help with. But until then, I'll see y'all later. Alright?